Welcome to this guidance presentation on responding to FDA Form 483 inspectional observations. This draft guidance, issued March 2026, is intended to assist drug manufacturers in effectively responding when they receive an FDA 483 at the conclusion of a CGMP inspection. It covers best practices for format, content, timelines, investigations, and corrective actions. The guidance applies to CDER, CBER, and CVM regulated establishments. This presentation is structured into 6 key sections. We begin with background on what the FDA 483 is and why it matters. We cover how and when to submit your response. We'll look at the required format and content elements. Next is how to properly address each observation. We'll discuss the critical role of management. And finally, how to develop a comprehensive investigation and CAPA plan. An FDA 483 is a formal written notification issued at the end of an inspection when investigators observe conditions that may constitute violations of the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Critically, the 483 is not FDA's final determination. It is a list of observations that give you an opportunity to respond. While responding is voluntary, FDA strongly recommends it. A well-crafted response can influence whether the agency pursues further regulatory actions, such as a warning letter. An FDA 483 is issued at the end of an inspection. It is important to note this is not a final determination, but rather an opportunity for your establishment to formally respond and address any identified issues. Timing is everything. FDA recommends submitting your response within 15 business days. That's Monday through Friday, excluding federal holidays, from the date the 483 was issued. If you meet this window, FDA commits to reviewing your response before deciding on next steps. Miss it, and FDA will not delay regulatory actions such as issuing a warning letter. For complex observations where a full response isn't feasible in 15 days, submit your CAPA plan and proposed timeline within that window. If FDA amends the 483, your 15 days restart from the amendment. Your FDA 483 response must be a formal, well-organized document. It should begin with a table of contents and include 8 key elements. First, clearly identify your establishment, including the FEI number found at the top of the 483. Second, attach a copy of the actual 483. Third, identify who prepared the response. Fourth, and critically, it must be signed by executive management with authority to commit resources and implement changes. Fifth, include letters of authorization for consultants. Sixth, attach investigation plans and reports. Seventh, include a comprehensive executive summary with risk assessment, investigation details, CAPA plan, and timelines. Eighth, provide a detailed discussion of every observation. All correspondence must be submitted in English. FDA guidance recommends using a table format in your executive summary to organize remediation activities at a glance. Each row should represent an observation or group of related observations. Key columns include the observation number, general category or system affected, a brief summary of the issue, the CAPA number, target completion date, and current progress status, whether it's to be initiated, in progress, or completed. This table gives FDA reviewers a rapid overview before diving into the detailed sections. Note that the progress column should contain substantive information, not just, quote, in progress. Management responsibility is a cornerstone of an effective FDA 483 response. First, responsible officials at both the facility and corporate levels must be notified and must understand all observations. Second, management must assess whether adequate resources are committed. This includes dedicated investigation teams, external consultants for complex findings such as data integrity issues, facility upgrades, and regulatory filings. Third, form a multidisciplinary investigation team with clear roles, supported by regular communication from executive management. Remember, the establishment bears full responsibility for CGMP compliance, regardless of any written response submitted to FDA. A comprehensive investigation plan is the backbone of your 483 response. Start by thoroughly understanding the observation. Review SOPs, batch records, lab records, and interview employees involved. Then establish a risk-based scope. Determine which drugs, batches, and processes are affected, and consider expansion to related areas. For example, if one piece of equipment was found to have deficient cleaning, investigate ALL equipment using those same procedures. Root cause analysis must be methodical. Identify multiple potential causes and test each one. Avoid bias where testing only supports your first hypothesis. Finally, link observations to trends from past inspections and internal audits to identify systemic issues. Remember, addressing only the most obvious causal factor is often not sufficient to prevent recurrence. Investigate all potential root causes systematically. The CAPA plan, corrective and preventative action, must address the actual root causes you identified, not just the surface symptoms. Start developing your CAPA plan during or immediately after the inspection closes. The plan has 4 critical components. First, corrective action to eliminate identified root causes. Second, preventative action to change processes and systems so the problem can't recur. Third, implementation across all affected areas with verification. Fourth, and often overlooked, evaluate whether your CAPA is actually working. An effectiveness check must go beyond routine sampling. If effectiveness evaluation shows your CAPA isn't working, revisit the investigation. A new or additional root cause may exist. Your CAPA plan must include a communication plan with clear timelines and regular written updates to FDA. When remediation activities are not yet complete, don't wait until everything is finished to communicate with FDA. Develop a communication plan that maps out milestone deliverables and when you will send follow-up reports. On day 0, the 483 is issued. Within the first few days, conduct management review and initial risk assessment and put interim protective measures in place. By day 15, the deadline, submit either a complete response or at minimum your CAPA plan with a proposed timeline. After that, send periodic follow-up reports as your remediation activities progress. FDA will monitor these reports and can take additional action if corrective actions stall or are insufficient to protect patients. Disagreements about scientific or technical interpretations do happen. The guidance provides a clear 3-step pathway to resolve them. First, during the inspection itself, actively engage with FDA investigators and seek clarification. Try to resolve disagreements before the 483 is finalized. Second, if a significant disagreement remains unresolved when the 483 is issued, address it formally in your written response. Be specific about the contested facts. Provide scientific data and references to applicable FDA guidance, statutes, or regulations. Third, for ongoing disputes, you may escalate to the FDA Ombudsman or the office directing the inspection. Critical caveat: disputing an observation does not suspend your obligation to implement CGMP-compliant corrective actions. Let's close with the 6 most important takeaways from this guidance. 1. Act quickly. Submit within 15 business days. 2. Get executive sign-off from someone with real authority and accountability. 3. Conduct a deep, unbiased investigation. Don't stop at the first plausible cause. 4. Your CAPA must be risk proportionate, comprehensive, and measurable. 5. Maintain proactive communication with FDA through a formal reporting plan. 6. For complex issues, especially data integrity, engage a qualified CGMP consultant as FDA specifically recommends. By following this guidance, establishments demonstrate commitment to quality and patient safety, which is ultimately what FDA's inspection program is designed to promote. We offer comprehensive video training modules covering all the listed topics across GMP, GDP, QC, QA, production, engineering, regulatory, and related functional areas. These modules are readily available and designed to support effective knowledge transfer, regulatory compliance, and operational excellence within pharmaceutical organizations. In addition to the standard modules, we also provide customization options. The training content can be tailored to align with your internal SOPs, site-specific procedures, quality systems, and regulatory commitments. Our objective is to deliver practical, implementation-focused training that directly supports your organization's quality culture and compliance framework. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to hear from you.